Hello, welcome to the TV room. I'm carrying on. So I have this vintage 64 VIC-20, VIC-20, not 64, sitting up here. It's working. It's fine. It's dandy. Um, it's dandy. And it has all its original chips back, and all the pins are actually in the sockets, but I borrowed a 6560 chip from something else. So here is the other very early machine. So I think what I'm going to do, making reference, see, it's hard, it's easy to switch things up in terms of what is going where, so I don't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to repopulate this with the chips that came from this other VIC-20 and just see what we see. So the 6502 goes in here. However, this board, very strange. It does not have all the white lettering on it to remind you where things go. So it is not impossible, and in fact quite possible, you might put things in the wrong thing. So here's a round chip. It's a 901 486-06. And according to this, according to looking at the other, it goes in here. So it's in. And here's a 401 486-01. And according to looking at the other board, it goes in here. All right. Let's look for more chips here that I would have spread around a bit. What do we have here? Okay. 401 460-03. And it goes here. Always checking the witness mark. All right. So we just have two more. And they are indeed interchangeable. They are. They're 6522 chips. And they would go into these sockets here. They would. I will watch the pins. Make sure they're in. Watch the pins. Make sure they're in. They're in, they're in, they're in, they're in, they're in. Now all we need is a Vic Chip. Now in this machine here, which is not on at the moment, it has the cover. It's very hard to get that chip out. So what I'm going to do is turn this off and bring this up here. And I'm going to steal this Vic Chip. And then I guess the only other thing I've really got to do to just see what's what. Oh man, that is tight. That is tight. That is tight, tight. Okay. Vic Chip out. Original Vic down here. Checking the pins ever so carefully. Ever so carefully. They're lined up. We're in. So I think the only thing I'm going to do differently is this is turned off. Good. It's not good to take chips out when something is turned on. Okay, that is turned off. And here we have... Oh, come on. The video cable. Now, do I think this is going to do anything? I don't think so. But also, I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to let it sit here for a while and see if indeed we have the same sort of trouble where there is a capacitor, perhaps, that it's just not happening. Now, the funny flash I saw when I turned this on, I don't believe that to be the case, but I'm going to be patient, and who knows, maybe I'll tweak this thing here to see if anything changes. And in fact, nothing changes. So, oh, I saw something. What's going on here? I'm touching chips. Funny things are happening on the screen. I'm just looking for chips that are hot. But this does seem to be consistent. If I push over here, I wonder if I push on some of the big chips. Nope. Now is that with this? Is that because this is moving? Have I got a bad connection here? What's going on here? Is it the cable? It might be just something with the cable. That is strange. Mind you, there is this crystal here. Now it is pretty much locked in position. It can be tweaked a bit. This is very strange. Alright, I'm going to yank this sucker out. Put it back in. Making sure that it's very secure. Making sure that this part is very secure. I wonder, could it be that this connector on the board has a wonky solder joint? It's possible, because it does seem it's when this cable gets moved around, things are happening or not happening. Interesting. As much as I thought it was when I was pushing on a chip. Oh, let's see here. There does seem to be a bit of movement in there. It's weird. But then sometimes there isn't. And now it's doing crazier things. This is peculiar. On this Vic Chip, it does seem to be getting kind of warm. But, once again, I mean, it could be weirder and weirder with every second. It could be a bad thing on that socket. It could also be a bad pin somewhere else. I wish I could keep this very, very still and not yanked on things. Well, that's strange. Now, from what I have found in other times, when there are things that are weird when you push on boards, it usually means there's a bad something, a bad connection somewhere that does need a little soldering. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to pull this out. What have I got here? Oh, yes. I have here all the funky chips with the funky stickers that all seem to be okay. So, I am going to put this back in. Hello, why can't I do that? I have done that. I'm going to turn this on. Out comes the Vic. Alright, I need to do some more thinking. Thanks for coming. Have a lovely day. By the way, if you have any thoughts on any of this, please send me a message. Bye for now.